Salam alaikum, everyone. I want to welcome you to another installation of the Zoom In on the Halal Metropolis project, where we're interviewing leaders in the Muslim community in Detroit about how they're doing, how they're coping with, how they're contributing in the moment of the pandemic. I'm Sally Howell. I'm the director of the Center for Arab American Studies at the University of Michigan Dearborn, and I welcome you. And Salam alaikum to both Zane and Sam. How are you guys? So today I have Zane Makki and Sam Abbas with me. They're the owner and the chef of Brome Burgers, and I know you guys have some other restaurants that you run. I'm a big fan of Brome, as I just told you guys before we started the interview. But first off, just tell me how you're doing. How are the two of you doing?
I can start out by saying it definitely gave me some time to reflect, and I feel like I'm doing well at this point. It was a much needed break for all of us, and I know there's a lot of negativity out there in the news, but I tried to make the best of it and truly just enjoy the time with the family and mentally recharge, emotionally recharge, and physically recharge. And so now I'm ready to get back to work, definitely.
And how are you doing, Zane?
That's definitely the case with me too. I mean, we've had our times. We've been through a lot these past couple of months, but you got to take it with a grain of salt and work with the positives that we have, and hopefully grow on that and bring better things to come in the future.
Well, so I can infer from this that Brome has been closed and your other businesses have been closed. So tell me how long you've been closed and what that's been like for you.
Yeah. So go ahead, Sam.
Go ahead. No, you start.
So we've actually just reopened this past week. We were closed for a few weeks. We had to kind of transition off from the dine-in service to just carry out only, and then as the orders came in, we just ended up eventually closing down and just reassessing a few things internally with the business. I know Sam could speak more upon that, but we're up and running now, and we're mainly doing curbside pickup. So that's been a challenge for us recently.
Yeah, I can say we've really been blessed in the community to constantly see that support, that much needed support that we need and that we thrive on. We closed, I think it was, I want to say mid-March, so it was a little over a month and a half. Detroit is still closed just because there's really not much action down there. All the big companies like Quicken and the big law firms and things like that, everybody's working remotely, and there's not as much residents down there, so that one has been a little bit tougher to get off the ground. So Chef Zane and I have kind of we've gone back and forth about other ideas and things that we can do out of the Detroit location, but right now we decided it's best to kind of give everybody a rest and put our energy where we can get the most out of it. So we're focusing on Dearborn right now. Chef Zane and his team and myself have worked closely to put together a safe return back to work, full PPE gear, the whole 9 yards, and really just kind of taking it one step at a time. We're constantly on calls. Chef Zane's always reading up on, what's to come in the industry, and what are the next steps for restaurants? What's it look like for us? And I think taking it a little bit slower is the best approach, just because we're unfamiliar. I mean, it's uncharted territory. We haven't been down this path before, luckily. So we're just kind of learning as we go, and we want to make sure that we're not making any mistakes. And we want to keep everybody safe. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's that everybody has safety on their mind, and I'm glad to hear you have it on your mind. One thing, I talked to another restaurant owner who said that the thing that really was sort of getting him was, he said that the loyalty of their customers, and he's also in Dearborn Heights. So, the Dearborn community is not abandoning its restaurants. I think that, I also talked to Nada Shatila earlier today, and she said maybe in the first few weeks, people were conservative and they became very worried, and even their mail-in orders went down. But now, it's the end of Ramadan. people have been, this is an unusual season to have Ramadan at home like this. This has not been done before. And I think people have, for the most part, been good. But at the same time, people are ready to go out and they want to have something different. They want to celebrate. And so I'm sure your restaurant is a part of that. But he said that the one thing that was affecting his business was that because of the social distancing in the kitchen, he said it takes him so much longer to fill an order. He said the amount of time per order has more than doubled because of the social distancing thing. So I don't know that had, I mean, I'm a cook myself. I cook at home, and you have to be ambidextrous. You do so many things at once when you're cooking, but I'm wondering, no one gets in the kitchen with me when I'm cooking because I need my space. So I'm just wondering how that's working for you with a crew.
I mean, absolutely, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, it's been going on with us as well with the curbside pickup. Without having a dine-in service, doing only carry-out does bring more challenges, especially when you do, all the packaging that we do. Having those, that's going to increase the ticket times, and then delivering the food to the cars outside, and then figuring out, what kind of car it is. Them calling you back and letting you know, hey, we're here, and then taking it back out to them. So it's just a lot of communication that we have to do, and get accustomed to that we're not really used to doing.
Well, so how much would you say, what is your volume compared to what it was this time last year? Do you have an idea?
So during Iftar, I think it's around the same amount because, people still want to eat during that, during that time. And I feel like it being all carry out rather than being split, 75% being dine-in and only 25, it's like a good balance where we could handle it all, where now it's completely carry out and it's kind of like all coming in at once. So it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's, we're getting through it and we're doing well. So kind of changed us a little bit now. So if we have to continue to do it after Ramadan, we would be fine with it.
I guess if you can meet the iftar crowd, yeah, that's pretty good. Well, so that's awesome news to hear that your volume is that high. I haven't talked to anybody else who said that. That is super. That means you're doing well. So I also just want to give you guys, hats off to you. A few years ago, I was on a diet. I had lost 70 pounds in 1 year. Yes, in 1 year. And although I love your burgers at Brome, I became very addicted to your salads, your kale salad in particular. So just maybe talk to me a little bit about your food, about what you're offering to customers for those who still haven't been to Brome.
Chef Zane has got to take this one. I mean, this is his heart, his soul. This is everything. He's worked very, very hard and very diligently to put this menu together, and it's taken us years to do so because, we've added on components of the business. So, Zane, there's nobody better to speak to it than you.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. I mean, we've all put our efforts into this as well, so can't take all the credit for it. But as far as the menu goes, we just wanted to do a really good balance, and it kind of speaks to your point as we want to be able to, give you healthy alternative options like the salads and the new juice bar that we just opened up that has all superfood benefits, including, the smoothies, the acai bowls, the fresh pressed juices that we do, and then, incorporate that with our burgers and shakes and fries. So it's like a good marry of everything together. And then we also want to focus on the health conscious side of the burgers as well. So making the in-house baked buns fresh every morning, doing the organic beef, doing the all-natural Angus beef, keeping it as fresh and clean as possible throughout the entire menu. So that was our main focal point on it. And then from there, we just grow with the specials, and whatever sticks, we end up leaving on the menu.
Well, so you're reminding
me. I'd like to add.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'd like to add real quick. So one thing that, I think we're forgetting to touch on just because it's so new to us, but, with the whole COVID-19 and, a lot of people have financially been impacted, even ourselves. I mean, being closed down for 2 months, it's a huge financial impact. I mean, it's a very large setback, to say the least. But, in the initial phases, we ran with a 50% off our entire menu just to kind of give back to the community. And it was a way of saying bye before we said hi again. And now that we're back, between, the whole team between Chef Zane, myself, Oliver with the Hollerson Group, a couple other key individuals on the team, we've put together a value menu. So we know that it's not going to be easy for the next 6 months. We know that it's going to take time for the economy to get back on its feet. I'm actually a CPA, so numbers, the economy, finances, all of that, that's all, I'm fairly familiar with it and how it works. So I know it's going to take us some time, and we felt that coming out with like just a small value menu, introducing 3-4 burgers that we sell for $5, which in comparison to your $13 burger, it's quite a value. I know it's not a McDonald's value menu, but we're not McDonald's. We're we're Brome Modern Eatery, and we say it proudly. And we also introduce value salads, which are just smaller portions of the salads, just to get people out the door, for $5-10. If that's all that can be done on a particular lunch or dinner. So we know it's not the best option, but it is something.
Yeah, well, I haven't been since you've introduced the new health bar stuff. I haven't been, so I'll have to check you out when I'm able to. But I did notice before, and I appreciated the fact that you always had the water there, the infused water. So that, I don't drink sugary drinks. I drink water. And it's like in your restaurant, I don't have to ask for water. I just get my cup and I can get my own water. And so and it's both a healthy option and an economy option. But you make it like beautiful, like it looks beautiful, the different pictures you have, and the water tastes great because of the fruit that's in it. And it's like, it just gives such a positive feel, that just that simple gesture you do with the water.
Positive energy.
Yeah,
that goes a long way.
Energy. But I do have a question for you. So I'm writing a book called Halal Metropolis. And this is also, I'm interviewing you for a project, the art version of Halal Metropolis. And one thing that has really struck me since you first opened is that it used to be that when you drove down Michigan Avenue from Detroit into Dearborn, one of the first things you came to was like Lashish, and I think it's called the Parthenon, that gentleman's club. And the gentleman's club used to have a sign on the roof that, even though it was a strip club, it had a sign on the roof that said halal chicken. That used to just really tickle me. Unfortunately, I never got a picture of the halal chicken at the strip club. But when you come into Dearborn from the other side, if you're driving in from the west and you're driving down Michigan Avenue, one of the first restaurants you come to is Brome, a restaurant that is famously got halal burgers. But nowhere does it say on the roof that it's halal. So would you explain this to me?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a choice that we made, way back. It's not that we aren't proud to serve halal. It's more so, it's common. It's like, a lot of people say, well, there's no Wi-Fi sticker on the door. I said, it's 2020. You don't advertise free Wi-Fi anymore. It's a given. But, in 2012, when I opened up my first, or 2011, when I opened up my first restaurant, yeah, sure, we advertise free Wi-Fi, but it's just a common thing now. And then, in Dearborn, I feel like halal is such a common thing that it's almost a given. We also have, a pretty solid reputation in the community, and everybody knows that, what we sell is 100% halal. And we felt that was enough. And anybody that asks, we can produce the certificates, on the spot. So we felt pretty confident about going that route.
Yeah, no,
we don't like to simplicity is key with everything. I just don't like to overdo it with, stickers and symbols and, all kinds of things all over the restaurant. The simpler things are, the cleaner they are, the better they are, in my opinion.
I get you. I get that. But I also I don't know. So that it's halal because of the turkey bacon. That's like a clue, and whenever I've asked your staff, they've always really clear, just totally, yes, of course we're halal, and all my Muslim friends, of course, they all know people come from all the suburbs to eat at Brome. You've got a reputation. But you also tell us where your meat comes from. It's like you're so specific about the quality of the meat and stuff like this. And this is one of the qualities. So I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't think it would be it wouldn't be off for you to also have a crescent up there somewhere. And the people who know what the crescent means know what it means. And the people who don't, they don't care, you know?
Yeah, it is on our menu because it's a dietary restriction. So just like we offer vegetarian symbols and vegan symbols and gluten-free symbols, we do have a halal sticker on the actual menu itself. We just don't put a big halal, you know, sign on the front of our store because aesthetically it's not pleasing. The same way that I wouldn't do that if, you know, to advertise my gluten-free or the chef's, you know, vegetarian menu or anything like that. It's a dietary restriction, and those things are personal, and I feel like they should be kept, you know, fairly personal. You know, those are things that each individual inquires about, but not every individual needs to know about. So every vegetarian that comes in doesn't have to boast and say, hey, I'm a vegetarian. Well, you are a vegetarian. We offer vegetarian. If you're a Muslim and you ask and you want halal, we offer halal. So it's a win-win for all of us, and it maintains the integrity of the aesthetics of the building.
Well, first off, I want to agree with you. The aesthetics of the building are amazing. You've created a gorgeous space, very open. I love the green wall you have. I mean, it's just so on point. All of your decor is on point. So I definitely want to agree with that. And I also want to say it's a win-win for me because the historian writing about Dearborn gets to tell that narrative about coming from one side of town and seeing the strip club with halal chicken and coming from the other direction and seeing the hamburger place without the halal sign. So it's definitely a win-win for me. Well, listen, I've taken up plenty of your time. I'm so glad to have met you both. I thank you both, Zane and Sam, for agreeing to talk to me. I want to encourage everybody to go out and get a hamburger if you can for iftar, or maybe for suhoor, because iftar, I'm sure they're going to be quite busy. But they'll be there after Ramadan, and they do provide great service. I've never been to your downtown store either. I've only been to the one in Dearborn, but it's just a great place.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's in the downtown financial district. Hopefully when Detroit's back on its feet, we'll get open and everybody can visit. That's definitely our flagship location. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's 2 floors. It incorporates a bridge, a causeway that connects to another building. Truly a very unique and you know, a special piece of property in downtown Detroit. So definitely worth a visit. It's close to Cobo, close to Campus Martius, close to all the fun stuff down there, Hart Plaza, and you know, the list goes on.
Well, I just wish you all the best because I know that you're paying a ton of money probably for that space, and it's got to be hurting for it not to be open. So I hope that you guys have a chance to open up fully as soon as possible and as safely as possible. And I wish you the best riding through this very challenging. I mean, it's a cultural challenge, it's a personal challenge, it's a health challenge, but for you guys, it's also a financial challenge. So, you know, I wish you all the best. And thank you for talking to me, and Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much for the interview.